With the 2024 NFL season just coming to an end and entering the postseason, a 14-team tournament to determine the best in the sport, leading to the two best teams from the AFC and the NFC to battle it out in the Super Bowl. So what if pro wrestling was able to follow that same format? Wrestling really doesn't have a grand prize per se like the Lombardi Trophy is to the Super Bowl. So for the sake of ease, we're going to say that since WWE is the biggest, we're going to use the WWE title as the grand prize. For this, I'll be using the top 14 wrestlers on the PWI 500 list, and I'm going to divide them up based on their ranking, with the top 2 wrestlers getting a bye week just like the leaders of the NFC and the AFC would. So the rest of the wild card round will break down like this. Irish whip, Osprey off the ropes. Danielson meets him with a knee straight to the gut. Osprey struggling to get to his feet. Danielson with a clothesline drops him to the floor. And Bryan Danielson takes this wild card match to the outside in a German suplex. Danielson now traps the arm, another suplex. Osprey still quick to get to his feet. Danielson takes him out at the knee. Bryan Danielson wisely taking this fight back to the ring. Osprey able to meet him with some quick kicks. And that kick on point, standing corkscrew. Osprey again with these kicks, staggering Danielson in the corner. Osprey throws Danielson away, hops over the ropes. Osprey springboard clothesline back in the ring. Osprey looking for a springboard Phoenix splash into the cover, and Danielson out at a 1 count. Osprey wisely staying on the attack here. Can't let Bryan Danielson have a second. Osprey now into the cover again, and Danielson out even before a 1 count this time. Osprey with Danielson again. Irish whip reversal. Danielson goes under. Osprey showing off the athleticism. Now Osprey taking Danielson to the ropes. Gonna return the favor. Takes Bryan Danielson to the outside. And now Osprey hits the ropes, but Danielson slides back in. Great ring awareness by Bryan Danielson. Danielson with a hard strike. Turns Osprey around. Hooks the arm and leg planted high on the shoulders. And Danielson tries to drop the knee on that open wound. Osprey rolls out of the way, catches Danielson, German suplex, and immediately Osprey trying to trap the arm of Danielson, but he slides away. Osprey off the ropes, Busaiku knee. Danielson giving no time to react to Osprey, and Danielson with the 3 count. And there you have it, just like that. Rebound Busaiku knee. Danielson will move on to the divisional round of the playoffs. Repeated strikes by Zayn, pulls him out in a sit-out powerbomb. And now Sami Zayn catches Naito, plants him face first. Naito able to escape the submission hold. Zayn escapes the ring back on his feet. Naito follows him out. Sami catches him into the barricade. Tries to drop the knee. Naito moves out of the way. And now Naito Irish whips. Sami reverses into the stairs. Naito rolls out of the way. Sami tries a forearm. Naito catches him. Suplex into a bridge there. Into the cover. Sami Zayn out at 2. Naito, though, staying on the attack. Turns Sami around. German suplex. Both men back and forth here. Naito off the ropes. Zayn goes under. Catches him. Floats around. Hip toss. And Zayn now springboard dropkick connects. Sami Zayn looking for a belly-to-belly, but Naito STOs him into a pin here. Hooks the leg. Zayn out at a 1 count. Naito catches Zayn. Pulls him in. Traps the leg. Small package driver in the center of the ring. Zayn out at a 2 count. Lifts up Sami Zayn. Zayn to his feet. Naito again looking for that suplex. Chooses not to bridge it this time. Instead lifts Zayn back to his feet. Going for another suplex. Sami Zayn rolls out of the ring onto his feet. Back into the ring. Gets caught. Destino into the cover. Sami Zayn able to kick out at 2. And you gotta wonder what it's gonna take. That was Naito's best move. Sami Zayn just kicked out of it. Naito twists the leg, trying to tap Sami out, twisting the ankle. Sami Zayn able to fight himself out of the submission hold. Naito off the ropes, gets caught, heel kick. Naito headed up to the top rope. Sami looking at the lights in the middle of the ring, and a leg drop to the back. And with that move, Naito might have just secured a wild card victory. If he can hit the Destino one more time. Zayn blocks a forearm. Another springboard dropkick on target. Sami Zayn sizing up Tetsuya Naito in the corner. Takes too long. Naito sidesteps the haluva kick, but Sami follows up with a drop kick. Naito might have saved himself the match there by coming out of the corner so Sammy couldn't hit the haluva kick. Back in the corner now. Sammy, haluva kick anyways. Into the cover. Sami Zayn pins Tetsuya Naito. And Sami Zayn secures a first-round wildcard victory. He will move on to the divisional round. Raking the boot across the face and the mask of Mystico in the corner. MJF inflicting maximum damage here, lifts him up. And now Mystico able to fight himself free after getting dropped plain on his head. Brings MJF into a destroyer. Mystico into the cover to knock off MJF, and he kicks out at 2. MJF having to struggle to his feet. Mystico right there to meet him in the corner. The luchador stranding MJF on the top. Follows him up. Avalanche, Spanish fly. Mystico again into the cover, and MJF again will kick out. MJF quick rake to the eyes and a low blow. The referee looking right at it. Still doesn't call a disqualification, but somehow Mystico able to get the shoulder up. MJF stalking his opponent, waiting for him to get back up, locks him into the salt of the earth, and Mystico at the verge of getting his shoulder ripped off, taps out. And there you have it. After a submission victory, MJF will also be victory in the wild card round and advance to the divisional. And now Drew just peeling Seth off the mat, gut wrench, sit out powerbomb. How sweet it would be for Drew McIntyre to beat Seth Rollins here and be able to stick it to him in the playoffs. Seth having to slide out, get himself to his feet. Drew tries to take him to the floor. Seth able to dodge. Back in the ring though, Drew catches him swinging neckbreaker. And now again, gut wrench, sit out powerbomb. Seth stumbling to his feet, has no idea. Flying clothesline. A quick kick by Seth, and these men go back and forth. McIntyre now with a reversal. Goes back to Seth, who gets a kick. And now Seth off the ropes, trying to follow up, drops the knee. And now it's McIntyre pulling himself up on the apron, and Seth stunner off the top rope. And now Seth trying to get McIntyre over the ropes. Seth again flies over himself, and Drew McIntyre just bludgeoning Seth Rollins over the top rope. Seth trying to stir, but McIntyre right back on the attack, and the Glasgow kiss. Rollins back in the ring, and McIntyre meets him with a clothesline. Seth Rollins might be out. McIntyre only gets a 2 count. Rollins off the ropes, and just like Danielson with the knee, McIntyre nails the Claymore into the cover, and Rollins kicks out just before 3. Drew McIntyre gonna deadlift Seth up again, another power bomb. Drew McIntyre has to be wondering what he has to do. Rollins now lifting Drew up, ripcord knee right up under the jaw. Rollins falls into the cover, hooks the leg, and only gets a 1 count. Seth trying to follow up, backing McIntyre up, tries the super kick. McIntyre with hard forearms knocks Seth to the ground. Off the ropes goes McIntyre, Seth with a sling blade. And now Rollins setting up McIntyre, unknowingly hits the stomp, nails it in the middle of the ring, hooks the leg. Seth Rollins to advance, and McIntyre kicks out. Seth gonna try to take this to the turnbuckle again, crossbody, comes back in the ring. McIntyre there waiting on him, lifts him up, drops him with the double underhook DDT into the cover, and Seth again kicks out. Insane first round matchup here in the playoffs, but now air raid crash, and Seth Rollins looks to be dead on the mat here, and Drew McIntyre's gonna call for the Claymore one more time, nails it into the cover to go to the divisional round, and Drew McIntyre has defeated Seth Rollins. Samoa Joe hooks the arm, lifts him up, stalling vertical suplex right on the cricket logo. Everyone knows that's the hardest part of the ring. Damian off the ropes. Joe misses a punch. Damian now looking for a springboard, jumps clear over Samoa Joe. Sizing up his man across the ring. Samoa Joe with a clothesline. Drops Priest out of the corner, off the ropes, senton. Priest able to get the knees up. Joe hits him with a quick jab. Samoa Joe with an Irish whip, and Priest just spills to the floor. And Priest is going to use that advantage, get some time to recover here in the ring, make Joe break the count. Back in the ring, Priest hits the springboard forearm this time. And now Damian Priest needs to stay on Samoa Joe. You can't let this man get back on offense. Joe quickly back to his feet, runs right into a super kick. And Damian Priest's first cover of the match, a 2 count, and Joe kicks out. Priest not wasting any time, immediately goes, picks up Joe, plants in middle of the ring. Joe still stumbling around. Priest has to be wondering what he has to do. Able to duck the punch there. Priest with life still. Joe in the corner, and Priest just trying to drive the air out of Samoa Joe. Joe with a straight kick to the gut there, stuns Priest. Irish whip. Joe with a clothesline wipes out Priest. And Samoa Joe maybe closing in on a victory. Lifts him up. Emerald Flosion. Joe into the cover, hooks the leg, and Priest kicks out. And Samoa Joe not wasting any time with another finisher stored up. From behind, Coquina clutch. Grapevines the legs, drops to the mat. And it might be only a matter of time before Damian Priest taps. And there you have it. Samoa Joe with a victory moves on to the divisional round. The wild card round underway, and German suplex immediately, dropping Moxley right on that big shiny bald head. And just like Joe and Priest, we expect this match to be a hard-hitting one. And now Moxley trapping the arms behind the legs and just bludgeoning Gunther's head against the mat. Jon Moxley going for a TKO here. Mox into a cover, thinks he's knocked him out, but Gunther still alive at 1. Mox following up. Gunther catches that strike. And now Gunther with a gut wrench lifts Moxley up and tosses him. Gunther working on the head of Moxley, just raking at the eyes. Gunther now tries to pick up Mox, and he wipes him out with a clothesline into the cover. Gunther hooks the leg, and Mox will grab the rope and force a rope break. But Gunther wasting no time as Moxley gets to his feet. Gunther looking to finish this match off already with the powerbomb. Stacks him in the corner for the win, and Jon Moxley just kicks out. Gunther talking a little trash to Moxley here as he has him completely just bleeding out on the mat. Gunther body press right across the gut, and he's not done as he heads to the top turnbuckle. Gunther from the top, and Jon Moxley gonna follow him out there. Has the arm, backdrop across the side of the ring, and now Moxley traps the hands again, this time on the floor. Mox slides back in the ring. Gunther gets counted out. Jon Moxley advances to the divisional round by knocking out Gunther on the floor. All right, so now let's take a look at our updated bracket. Now that we have completed all matches of the wild card round, so the matches will now break down like this. Cody Rhodes, who had the first round bye, will take on Bryan Danielson, who defeated Will Osprey. Sami Zayn will take on MJF. Swerve Strickland, coming off his first round bye, will take on Drew McIntyre. And Samoa Joe will go one-on-one with Jon Moxley. Danielson with a hard kick stuns Cody, but Cody right back gets Danielson into a gourd buster. Cody Rhodes traps the arm, monkey flip. Rhodes meets him there, hard punch, ties him upside down in the tree of woe. And Danielson is at the whim of Cody Rhodes here. And now Cody heading to the top, showing off a little bit. You usually don't see Cody Rhodes get distracted often. Turns his attention back to Danielson, reverse suplex. And Cody Rhodes is in complete control of this match. Rhodes into a cover on Danielson, only a 1 count. Cody with an Irish whip. Danielson spills over the top rope, and Cody Rhodes. Danielson going to take a stroll around just to catch his breath here. Cody Rhodes already waiting for him, and Danielson returns the favor. Cody on his feet, but a little dazed. Danielson grabs the wrist into a suplex. Stumbling to his feet again. Cody now just trying to wear down Bryan Danielson. Stomp him out in the corner, and Danielson has no idea, but Cody's waiting right behind him for the crossroads. Danielson scouts it into the Busaiku knee, into the cover, well scouted by Danielson, and Rhodes kicks out at 2. Danielson pulling off an amazing maneuver. Cody still on the mat, gets caught, cattle mutilation, and Danielson looking to tap out Cody Rhodes, but he escapes. And now Cody heading to the ropes, trying to get to his feet. Danielson is all over him. Cody looking for the springboard, the Cody kick. Cody with an Irish whip. Danielson over the top rope. Cody again, the stunner over the rope. and this time Cody does not follow up, waiting for Danielson to break the count. Danielson able to catch the stomp by Rhodes, plants him, and Danielson traps the arms, stomping out Cody Rhodes. In all accounts, it looks like Bryan Danielson will advance, locks Cody Rhodes in a triangle choke, and Danielson again trying to tap out Cody Rhodes, and he does. And there you have it. Bryan Danielson will advance to the conference finals. MJF lifting Sammy back to his feet, hooks the leg brainbuster into a pinfall here, and only a 1 count. And now MJF looking to lock in the salt of the earth early in this match. And now MJF with Sammy on the ropes, lifts him up, backdrop, center of the ring. Now MJF drops the knee on Sami Zayn into the cover right after the knee strike, and Zayn out at a 1 count. MJF immediately climbing back into the ring, not going to let Sami Zayn get a break in the action, gets caught. Sami Zayn with a brainbuster. MJF right back to his feet though, no selling the brainbuster. Off the ropes, Zayn German suplex, but MJF right there gets Sammy, lifts him up over the top rope. Sammy struggling to his feet, MJF there to catch him off the ropes. MJF running and hits the knee to the gut, picks up Sami Zayn off the ground into a suplex, and this has been all MJF so far. Another knee to the gut, dropping Sammy to the mat. Sammy quickly back to his feet, tries to hit a clothesline, eats a forearm instead. And now MJF throwing Sammy off the ropes, ducks a clothesline, follows up and wipes out Sami Zayn. Up to the top rope now, MJF diving leg drop, trying to drop the forearm, and he does. And Sami Zayn, I believe, has been opened up by that forearm, and now dumps MJF to the outside, and Sami Zayn with some much needed time here. But MJF right back in the ring at a 2 count. Sammy waiting on him. Blue Thunder Bomb. Well played by Sami Zayn into the cover. MJF escapes at 1. MJF hops up to the second rope, grabs Sami Zayn and pulls him in a hangman's choke. MJF now playing this match. Has to do it perfectly because Sami Zayn has that Helluva Kick stored up, and he knows it. Off the ropes goes Zayn. MJF goes for a spear. Zayn able to sidestep it. Now MJF into the corner. Helluva Kick by Sammy into the cover to knock off MJF. And MJF kicks out at 2. Tries to drop the knee. MJF rolls out of the way, and that diving elbow again. And a clothesline, merely glancing Sami Zayn and increasingly growing frustrated. Sami Zayn backdrop off the side of the ring. Not going to give MJF any time. Blue Thunder Bomb on the floor. Sammy right back in the ring, looking to finish off MJF. Trying to get him in the corner. MJF sidesteps the Helluva Kick again. Clothesline in the corner. MJF into the cover. Sammy out at 1. And now Zayn lifted to his feet, grabs him, brainbuster again. Zayn off the ropes. MJF goes for the spear again and misses. Sammy goes for a kick and misses. Trying to trap MJF in the corner, eats a knee to the face. And now MJF with Sami Zayn up on the top, and a punch to the face, and Sammy spills to the outside. And now could be MJF's time to return the damage from Sammy's Blue Thunder Bomb on the floor. And that's exactly what he's gonna do. Lifts him up, small package driver on the floor. And MJF is not done there. Sammy walks right into the salt of the earth, and Sammy can't even tap on the floor. MJF just trying to do damage. Zayn off the ropes. MJF ducks under, but Zayn catches him with a clothesline. Sami Zayn growing more and more frustrated as this match goes on. MJF blocks him, wrestles him down, tilt-a-whirl, salt of the earth, and Sami Zayn might have to tap here, and he does. MJF. And there you have it. MJF will now move on to the conference finals. Drew McIntyre just lifts up Swerve, tosses him overhead throw. McIntyre already into a cover, into a 2 count already early on in this match. Swerve quickly trying to stumble to his feet, but McIntyre again drops him. McIntyre did not follow him to the outside, so he got to his feet. And now Swerve able to reverse, springboard back, that springboard moonsault, able to drop McIntyre, and now Swerve belly to back suplex. A match of endurance here early on. Swerve over the top, floats under, catches McIntyre, hip toss, handspring drop kick. McIntyre to his feet, Swerve right there to meet him again. Swerve in the corner, but McIntyre catches him. Straight jab to the face and a Uranage, planting Swerve right in the corner. Swerve able to sidestep that stomp there, catch McIntyre in the gut. Now off the ropes, tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. McIntyre again finds himself in that turnbuckle. Swerve throws him to the outside, rope hung, neckbreaker. Trying to follow up into an immediate cover here on McIntyre. And he kicks out at a 2 count. Back to his feet, Swerve back on the attack. Trying to keep McIntyre in movement, stomp to the chest. Swerve back into another cover on McIntyre. Again, he kicks out at 2. Swerve Strickland wasting no time. Jab to the face, over the top of a modified blockbuster there as he lifts him up. Super kick drops McIntyre, and Swerve Strickland might be looking to finish off this match. Goes for the senton. Drew moves out of the way. Goes for the Glasgow kiss. Swerve saw it coming, but McIntyre grabs him. Air raid crash into the cover to advance to the finals, and Swerve able to get his shoulder up. And McIntyre just looking to do any damage here. It's all Swerve so far. McIntyre catches him, Irish whip. Now Drew McIntyre with the Claymore off the ropes, catching Swerve under the chin, into the cover to advance. Swerve kicks out at 2. McIntyre just lifting him up by his hair in an overhand club. McIntyre trapping the arms, stomping Swerve Strickland against the mat. McIntyre thinks the referee messed up, into another cover. Again, Swerve out at 2. And McIntyre growing frustrated here, but Swerve still with some fight, able to slide out the back, goes for the knee. McIntyre sidesteps it. Irish whip, McIntyre spine buster. Swerve again able to kick McIntyre away briefly. Jab to the face. Lifts McIntyre over the head. JML driver. And Swerve Strickland into the cover. McIntyre kicks out at 2. An incredible matchup here in the divisional round. And Swerve Strickland just choking out McIntyre now. Takes Swerve into the corner. McIntyre Irish whip. Swerve tries to float over. McIntyre nails him with a kick. And Drew feels like he might have just won off that kick. Swerve again out at 2. To his feet now. McIntyre off the ropes. Swerve. McIntyre again looking for that Claymore. The Claymore off the ropes. McIntyre into the cover. Swerve again kicks out. Swerve Strickland kicks out of 2 Claymores and now is back on his feet. Drew off the ropes. Gets caught. Handspring drop kick. And Swerve Strickland firing up here. Firing off on Drew McIntyre. McIntyre able to reverse. Picks Swerve up. Snake eyes off the turnbuckle. And now off the mat. Gut wrench sit out powerbomb. McIntyre again. Another gut wrench sit out powerbomb. And Swerve Strickland laying lifeless on the mat, but squirrels to his feet. Drew catches him with a neck breaker. Drew there to meet him again off the top rope. Lifting Swerve up by his hair. Glasgow kiss reverse. European uppercut. Springboard drop kick. And Swerve Strickland has found his second win in this match. Pulls up Drew McIntyre. Gonna look for the JML driver again. And he hits it into the cover. Swerve Strickland moves to the conference finals. And here we go. Referee rings the bell and we are underway. This will be the last match of the divisional round. Mox back up to his feet after that vertical suplex. Joe puts him into the corner. Joe now scoop slam into the corner. Mox landing hard on that part of the ring, and Joe just laying into him. Trying to scramble back to his feet. Eats a right hand. Ducks the uppercut. Now Mox with a spine buster. And now Mox heads to the ropes. Looking for that clothesline off the ropes. Wipes out Joe with it. Into the cover, but Joe out at 1. Joe off the ropes. Mox off the ropes. And Mox gets caught with a clothesline. Joe forearm across the face into the cover, but only a 2 count. Mox gets pulled back into the knee of Joe. And Mox again finds himself on the mat, slides out of the ring, but a suicide dive by Joe. You are truly not safe anywhere when you are facing Samoa Joe. Joe now with a kick to the gut, lifts Moxley up, going for a powerbomb off the apron, slingshot into the other side, and somehow Moxley is already on his feet. Meets Joe back out on the apron. Moxley backdrop on the apron. Off the ropes goes Joe, able to sidestep, back elbow, lifts up Mox, Emerald Flosion, and Samoa Joe into the cover. Moxley out at a 2 count. Senton center of the ring, but Mox slides the legs out from under him. A momentary lapse in Joe's offense. Mox back on the attack, able to catch Joe in a spine buster off the ropes. Joe scrambling to his feet. Jon Moxley with a cutter, dropping Joe center of the ring, stomping out Joe now. The AEW World Champion trapping the arm, locking in the submission here. Imagine if Mox was able to tap out Joe, but Joe able to sidestep the submission. Mox back on the attack into the Bulldog choke. Again, trying to tap out Samoa Joe. And Samoa Joe able to get his weight under him. Able to get back to his feet now. Fighting this choke off from Mox. Running in, wiping him out with an STO. Mox slides out of the ring, but Joe, suicide dive. Mox this time able to sidestep it. And Samoa Joe might have just made a critical mistake. Turns around into the Death Rider, but he blocks it. Joe locks in the clutch from behind. Drops to the mat, and now it's Joe trying to tap out Moxley, and now Joe heading out to the turnbuckle, heading up to the top, diving elbow drop into the cover to defeat Jon Moxley, and Samoa Joe will move on to the conference championship. Now let's take another chance to glance at our bracket now that we have completed both the wild card and the divisional round. So here's how the conference championships are looking. On one side of the bracket, we've got Bryan Danielson will be taking on MJF. And on the other side of the bracket, we have Swerve Strickland, who will be taking on Samoa Joe. We enter WrestleMania and a suplex by Danielson. MJF back to his feet, but Danielson meets him with another suplex. Grabs Danielson, side slam backbreaker. Lifts up Danielson now, takes him down at the shoulder, and now begins to tear at that shoulder, trying to soften it up for the salt of the earth. Danielson with a quick kick to the hamstring, but right back on the attack. Series of strikes, kick to the chest. Bryan Danielson, sleeper suplex. MJF knows he's only one win away from WrestleMania. Out of the corner, overhead belly to belly. Hooks the leg, trying the pin on Danielson, but he's out at 1. And now MJF right back to the shoulder of Danielson again. MJF goes for a stomp. Danielson sidesteps. MJF charges in. Danielson meets him with these rapid kicks. And one more, hopefully the knockout blow. And Danielson's hoping it is as well as he goes into the cover. A 2 count, and MJF gets the shoulder up, forcing himself up on the ropes. Danielson charging in, and over the top goes MJF. Danielson charging up in the ring. MJF able to break the count, and Danielson immediately wrestles him to the mat, into the label lock immediately, and MJF right at the ropes will grab the rope break. Danielson now lifting MJF to his feet, tries a strike. MJF to the eyes, low blow. Keep in mind, these are not no disqualification matches. MJF tilt-a-whirl into the salt of the earth now. Danielson gonna get his shoulder ripped out of the socket. MJF off the ropes. Danielson with a back elbow. And now Bryan Danielson heads to the top rope. Flying knee to the gut. And with that move, Bryan Danielson feels like he's closing in. MJF sidesteps the Busaiku knee. MJF running. Tilt over DDT. MJF has to capitalize again to the shoulder of Danielson. Now Danielson lifted to his feet again. MJF gonna look for the salt of the earth again. Locks it in, and Bryan Danielson is just out of reach of the ropes. And MJF is able to tap out Bryan Danielson. MJF will now move to the finals of the Pro Wrestling Playoffs. Joe takes Swerve over to the ropes, and Swerve with a kick to the shin drops Joe. Head scissors takes him over. Swerve still able to fight himself free. Both men jockeying for position early on in this match. Swerve traps the leg. Made in Japan. Lifting up Swerve, tossing him back to the center of the ring. Joe hits the ropes, looking for that senton. Swerve gets the knees up. And now Joe, Irish whip, catches Swerve, back body drop. Swerve Strickland looking to pull out the elbow of Samoa Joe. Swerve heads to the top rope. Joe, center of the ring. Swerve stomp on target into the cover to move on to the finals. Samoa Joe able to kick out at 2. And Swerve Strickland now feeling himself, thinking he's closing in on the win in this match. Joe off the ropes, hip toss, handspring drop kick. Joe forced to head outside the ring. Swerve gonna meet him there. Joe able to reverse. And Samoa Joe lifting Swerve up, but he slides behind, takes out the knee. And Swerve Strickland's wrestling a perfect match here against Samoa Joe. Swerve now traps the arms of Joe, drives the knee. Joe catches him, able to block the knee strike, potentially fatal. Swerve off the ropes, back body drop. And now Joe lifting Swerve to his feet. Samoa Joe, Emerald Flosion, and Samoa Joe into the cover. And Swerve kicks out at 2. Both men have to be wondering what they have to do. Joe just won off the elbow drop. Can he do it again? Another diving elbow into the cover. Referee in position, Swerve out at 2. Joe off the ropes, looks for the senton. Swerve gets the knees up again. Swerve rolling facebuster. And now Swerve Strickland needs to capitalize off the facebuster. Up to the top rope, gonna go for the Swerve stomp again. Connects into the cover to move on to the finals of the playoffs. And Swerve Strickland, just like that, has beaten Samoa Joe. And he advances to the finals of the Pro Wrestling Playoffs. All right, and it's all come down to this. One last time we look at our bracket before we head to the finals. We have MJF versus Swerve Strickland for the finals of the Pro Wrestling Playoffs. So let's hop right into it. And here we go, finals of the Pro Wrestling Playoffs at WrestleMania for the WWE Championship. The sport doesn't get any bigger than this. Referee rings the bell and we are underway. MJF starting this match out hot, grabs the wrist, another suplex. Swerve trying to get to his feet, but MJF now an inverted suplex. MJF said, I'm truly going to come out here and wrestle. Swerve looking for the styling DDT and it connects. And Swerve looking to get out here early as he goes to the cover and gets a 2 count. MJF back to his feet, but Swerve with a drop kick turns him head over heels. And MJF now slides under, takes him out at the leg. Swerve now able to reverse the pressure of this heel hook, trying to free himself. Irish whip, pullback. MJF steps under it. Now MJF again slides under and is going to try to take out Swerve's ankle. Slow down some of the high-paced offense here, but Swerve again fights his way free. Both men stumble their way back to their feet. Irish whip, Swerve with a knee to the face. And Swerve Strickland just with repeated blows to the back of the head. MJF trying to get back to his feet. Another springboard moonsault. Now MJF lifting Swerve to his feet. Referee up to a 6 count. Hooks the leg. Small package driver on the floor. Back in the ring, both men in an 8 count. Swerve catches MJF. Traps the leg over the knee. Swerve raking at the eyes. MJF just trying to get back on his feet. Misses a roundhouse. MJF, I don't know how he dodged that one. Into the cover, off the neck breaker for the WWE title. Swerve out at 1. Both men back up to their feet. MJF snap vertical suplex. MJF moves in, tilt-a-whirl into the salt of the earth. And MJF gonna try to win the title by tapping out Swerve. MJF feeling he might have not enough damage to the arm there. Swerve getting a kick up to the chest of MJF. And now Swerve goes behind. Drops MJF, house call on target to the side of the face. MJF able to get a shoulder up. And that just goes to show how fast the momentum can switch as Swerve is back on the attack. And all MJF can do is try to crawl towards the ropes here. Double underhook, MJF into the suplex. Now MJF again gonna try to work on that shoulder of Swerve. MJF would like nothing more than a tap out Swerve to win the title, and he is waiting on the opportunity. Swerve to his feet, tilt-a-whirl, salt of the earth. MJF into the submission for the WWE title. Will Swerve tap out? Swerve back to his feet, but MJF back on the attack. Moves in, tries a spear, gets caught in a DDT, and now Swerve sizing up MJF. Referee gets in the way, breaks the momentum, lifting MJF to the top rope. Swerve jumping Hurricane Rana, and now Swerve lifts up MJF, hooks the leg, plants him, and Swerve drops him to the floor. MJF able to stay on his feet, but Swerve with a code breaker, and now Swerve lifting up MJF on the floor. This could be the end here. JML driver, and MJF looks to be out on the floor. Swerve from kick to the gut, hooks the legs of MJF, Angel's wings. Swerve now heading out, thinks he might have the WWE title won, but MJF heads to his feet, dodging the Swerve stomp, lifting Swerve to his feet again. MJF trying to do more damage with a drop kick. Elbow to the face, catches MJF onto the shoulders, turns him around. Hurricane Rana. Amazing reversal by MJF to stay in this match. Taking in JML driver there would have been the end. Swerve into the corner, clothesline. Swerve having to use the ropes to get himself to his feet again. MJF right there though. Pulls him through the ropes, looking for the heat seeker right on top of his head. And MJF to win the entire playoffs at WrestleMania. MJF has beaten Swerve. And there you have it, running the whole tournament without even a bye week. MJF will win this year's Pro Wrestling Playoffs and the WWE title at WrestleMania. If you enjoyed videos like this and want to see more, make sure to give this a like and subscribe and check out the channel. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.